Good class series. To learn more about this ongoing series, please visit tibethouse.us.
I think that's the case. It's like when, in the famous stories of Tilopa and Naropa, who are two of the most important in Guhya Samaja, in Chakrasambhara, and most of the Tantras. There are these 12 ordeals that Naropa had to undergo in his discipleship with Tilopa. And Tilopa would do things like, he would say, "Oh, look at the queen on that elephant. She really has so many beautiful gems she's wearing. If I had a real disciple, he would go and just take those jewels and bring them to me so I can give them to my girlfriend. Too bad I don't have any real disciple." So then Naropa, of course, runs over and attacks the elephant and tries to get the queen's jewels, and then the bodyguards of the queen beat him nearly to death. And then the Tilopa comes up to him and says, "Naropa, what are you, crazy? Why are you trying to steal the jewels from the queen? What's the matter with you, And then he goes like this, and then he's totally healed. So there are these 12 times he did things like that. Oh, if I had a disciple, he would jump off the cliff here. And Naropa jumps off, but then he heals him, Tilopa does. And so they're a kind of symbol of the fact that to build a divine nervous system, an open chakra, Kala chakra, Chakrasambhara, Guhya Samaja, whatever, Vajra Yogini, He Vajra, your nervous system, in order to do that, you kind of have to shatter your attachment to yourself as ordinary, and having an ordinary nervous system, I think is what they mean. Although maybe he was a hard case and he really did have to undergo all these medical triage things. So the Dalai Lama, by the way, he says, so therefore when you're a teacher and around in Tantra, you have to be very cautious. He says, especially I do, with all these hippies around here in Dharamsala. He said, hey, if I said the real disciple would jump off the terrace here, some of them might jump off, he said. And he said, not only do I not have the ability to heal them just by passing my hand over them like Tilopa did, he said, but here in Dharamsala, we don't even have ambulance service. That's a great sense of humor, the Dalai Lama. Anyway, so Kala Chakra is supposed to be its special virtue. An amazing thing about it is that it's most explicit type of thing. And there are some very explicit things in the Kala Chakra. And in a way, the inner, if you look at this mandala, there are 3 buildings, one inside another in the mandala, which is also quite unusual. The general circle is the new kind of cosmos, that you create, and then inside that is the mandala palace of the Buddha, but it's a whole Buddha community with 722 members. This community has. And when you are visualizing yourself as Kala Chakra, if you become initiated and you're practicing it, then you also are all the other deities in the thing. So in a way, so this kind of complicated mandala is like a rehearsal for the Buddha consciousness, which remember I have said endlessly and tiresomely in this course, and then in the classes I have done about how the nature of the Buddha is, of a Buddha. When you're a Buddha, you will have a big shock, because you won't just be looking out of your own face like a regular person, but somehow expanded into a Buddha. You'll be looking out of everybody's face simultaneously. So Buddha could be confused if he or she became confused, in the sense that, which one am I? Wait a minute, oh yeah, I'm Buddha over here. So it's a weird thing where you're simultaneously many people. You have the experience of yourself as simultaneously being many people. So in the Kala Chakra mandala, you are all the people in the mandala, but there are a lot of gods in the mandala also. All the gods are there, all the Hindu gods. Brahma, I'm sure Yahweh is there too somewhere, he just doesn't know it, but he must be there. But they're all there, Shiva, Vishnu, and more important, what is fun about Kala Chakra is that all the Mrs. gods are there. Mrs. Brahma, Mrs. Shiva, Mrs. Vishnu, Mrs. Indra, they're all there. And in the speech mandala, which is the middle building, on the 8 lotuses in the speech mandala, which I don't really have, but I should have more slides with close-ups from this kind of a powder mandala, but anyway, there's 8 lotuses inside that second building in the kind of courtyard. It looks like a courtyard from above, but it's actually a building. And there's 8 lotuses in it, and those 8 lotuses, each one of them has 8 petals. And there's 64 speech goddesses, which are all the Vedic, like, Savitri and Gayatri, and all those kind of goddesses, which are Vedic speech goddesses, are all in there to please those, those former Brahmins and people who are the original disciples of the Kala Chakra. And they're all in there. I don't know, this thing is migrating. It doesn't like my hearing aids or something, or my ears are too, whatever. You have to have a shelf on your ear when you start having a lot of spare parts. And I need a bureau up there to all the things. And in the center of those are all the Mrs. gods, Mrs. Rudra, they're all there. And then the male gods, so there are 2, of the 722 people, there's 2 forms of a lot of the deities in the Kala Chakra. And in the speech mandala, the females are the big, strong ones. In those yabyums, you usually have like the big male, and then the female is kind of wrapped around the male, But in the speech mandala, the female is the big one, the big sort of strong one, and the male is wrapped around her waist. There's this little male. And my late friend, who was the Dalai Lama's one of his favorite artists, he was very upset with the monk artists at Namgyal Monastery, Dalai Lama's monastery, because when they drew each of these deities independently in a panoply that he designed for them to draw, they kept putting breasts on the the small male consorts, and they made the female big ones in the speech mandala flat-chested, because they couldn't understand a big female and a little male. He was very mad. He had them repaint them all, But I thought that was really cool. It's kind of a little tease in there. They're teasing the male chauvinist gods, They didn't get into there's no bathroom in the mandala, so they didn't have to get into that. Sorry. No, I hope anybody's from North Carolina. So, okay. So,
This video was brought to you in part with the generous support of the Tibet House U.S. membership community. To learn more about the benefits of Tibet House membership, please visit Tibet House U.S., including invites to special trips to study Buddhism up close and personal with Robert Thurman during his annual geographic expedition trips. Trips in 2018 include Mongolia and Bhutan. To learn more, visit bobthurman.com.